So the next thing we're going to do, you want to be on all fours. So when you're coming down to all fours, your hands go under your shoulders, knees go under your hips, and when you're putting your hands down, go fingertips first, then that first big set of knuckles, then your palms. So you feel like you're balancing your weight a little more evenly and you don't feel like you're jamming your wrists down into the floor. Also make sure that your hands are actually under your shoulders. Most of us tend to go a little too wide and a little too far forward. So really focus in and get those hands right under your shoulders. Now what we're going to do are some shoulder isolations. And because the shoulder joint is as mobile as it moves in so many different directions, sometimes it's really tough to just isolate a couple movements at the one time. So that is what we're going to work on. And if you can do that, then that's going to set you up for having really good shoulder position on everything else that you do in yoga. So your elbows are going to stay locked, your spine is going to stay in a nice neutral position, and your hips are going to stay neutral. We're going to start by protracting and retracting the shoulder blades. Protract, think of pushing the floor away and separating your shoulder blades. For retract, squeeze them together. So that's the move we're doing. Just protract and retract. Now the challenge in this movement is to avoid flexing your spine or your hips. When you go into protract, you're going to want to arch up. But don't let yourself do that. Keep that spine neutral. When you go into retract, you may feel like you want to let your hips drop forward, but don't do that. Keep all of that neutral. The only thing that's moving is your shoulder blades, sliding apart and sliding together. That is it. And when you go into that protract, separate your shoulder blades as much as you can. Get that little stretch in there. Feel a little strength through your triceps too. And then when you go into retract, really squeeze. Woo. Do a few more of those. And then come back into a neutral position, somewhere right in the middle. And we're going to go elevate and depress. Elevate is sliding your shoulder blades up towards your ears. Again, keeping those elbows locked out. And then depress is sliding them back down towards your hips. So elevate and depress. And the same thing here. Your elbows are going to stay locked. Spine stays neutral. Hips stay neutral. You're just sliding your shoulder blades over your rib cage, just up and down or forward and back, whatever works for you. That's the only thing that's moving. All right, and then come back to neutral. And then sit back. Let's take a little wrist break. I like to just every so often take a little wrist break when I'm down on my hands like that. Just a gentle interlacing of your fingers and just circle those wrists around. Just to keep things mobile, loose, happy. And then what we're going to do is go into cat and cow, and we're going to combine two of those moves each time. All right, so getting back to all fours, fingertips, first big set of knuckles, palms, hands right underneath the shoulders. So a lot of times with cat and cow, we tend to let these moves come from your lumbar spine and your hips. Now your hips are going to move, but we're going to make this movement come from the thoracic spine and the shoulders. So here's how we're going to get into this. For cow, we're going to retract and depress. Now let your hips tilt forward and scoop your chest forward between your arms, lifting your chin, looking up at the ceiling. For cat, protract and elevate. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin. Hello, microphone. Inhale into cow, retract, depress, tilt, look up. Exhale into cat, protract, elevate, tuck, and round. Inhale, retract, depress, tilt, look up. Exhale, protract, elevate, tuck, round. Keep going. And you can do this at your own pace, follow your own breathing, and focus on the movement starting with your shoulders. From wherever you are, take one more deep breath into cow. And then when you're ready, exhale back into that neutral spine. And then if you like, you can take a little wrist break, sit back, and roll those wrists around again.